Now, I've had the discussion on here before about buying and selling guns, and that I'm of the mindset that unless a gun is something spectacular, it's just a tool. And I have no problem with selling a tool to get a tool that I think is more useful, or a tool that just to get a new tool. So I have no problem buying and selling guns. Some people say never sell a gun. I'm not like that. It's just not the way I think. So, but I always have had this rule of if you buy a gun, sell a gun. And I think it's usually a pretty good rule, and I usually stick to it pretty well. But today I'm kind of violating my own rule, and it made me think, well, you know, sometimes it's okay to violate the buy a gun, sell a gun rule if you're selling a gun for something that might be of more value to you. I'm not saying more monetary value, I'm just saying more like use. It might be more beneficial down the road. For example, if we're ever in a bad situation, an emergency type situation, and I own 20 guns and 0 chickens, and my neighbor has 0 guns and 100 chickens, well, I see no problem with me ending up owning, you know, a few less guns and a dozen or so more chickens. So trading a gun for a chicken in that instance would be a really good thing. But I've also learned that once you get to the situation where times are already bad, the value of your non-edible item decreases. Now, handguns are probably the least decrease in value of non-edible items in a bad situation because they can help you acquire edible items and other things. But you don't want to be in a situation where you're having to do your trading for edible items after the fact. So I today did sell a gun. It's a gun I'd had listed for a while. It's a gun I had bought, but you know, after I bought it, I'm like, wow, it is really a pretty gun, but it's a manufacturer that I don't really care for, and I bought it on a whim, so I sold it, and I put the funds to good use. Now, I don't have what I'm spending it on to show you yet. I hopefully will have that later today. But I just kind of was making this video because, like I said, I'm just thinking that we talk about how guns are something never to be parted with, but we often don't think about some of the other things we should have in conjunction with our guns. I mean, it's great to have a strong defense and offense, but it doesn't really do any good if you don't have anything to defend. What good is a good defense if there's nothing there to defend? So I'm taking the funds. I'm going to do a little more something along the preparedness line with them today. And hopefully people will think I made the right decision. If not, I really don't care if people think I made the right decision because I did it already, so there's nothing I can do about it, so I'll have to justify it somehow. But like I say, I was just sitting here thinking, sometimes it's okay to sell a gun even if you're not getting a gun, if you're getting something that might be more useful in the long run, and I think that's what I'm doing.